Hey everybody, it's old Watachi again. Just wanted to let you guys know what happened to me today. Kind of pissed me off real good. But I didn't have my phone with me, so I didn't get it recorded. I was over in Niles, Ohio, and hit a Wendy's over there to pick up some food. And when I went into the Wendy's, there was two customers at the counter. I was standing over probably 12 feet away from anybody in the building. But there was just the three of us customers in there, plus, I don't know, about 15 Wendy's employees. Now, I walked in, and yes, it says you got to have masks on, mandatory by the governor, and all this crap when you're on the door as you're going in. I've been dealing with it everywhere, especially the last couple of days after the governor's orders. You guys saw my other video with Chipotle Mexican Grill. They were good. Even the people at Walmart were reasonable. But the people at this Wendy's, oh my God. When I walked in and I was standing there, one of the people that was working back on the grills, a girl, was back on the grill. She looked up and saw me without a mask on, and she went ballistics. She's screaming from halfway across this restaurant, back in the back, screaming at me, and I'm clear out front to get that I can't be in there without a mask on. As soon as she said it, everybody that worked there turned on me and started screaming at me to get out of there without a mask on. Even the customers, the two customers that were standing there. I started cracking up and looking at these people going, you don't even know what you're talking about. And this one little woman came about, I don't know, she looked like she was about 4'2" if she was anything. A little short, stocky woman came up and she was screaming at me. I couldn't be in that store without a mask and I needed to leave. And I was like, are you one of the managers? Are you with one of the bosses here? We need to have a talk. And so she kept running her mouth about it doesn't matter if we have a talk or not. You got to get out of here. You can't be in there without a mask. And so about this time, the actual manager of the McDonald's comes out of the back, find out what's going on. She comes walking up, and I said, are you the boss here? Are you the boss over this little short woman here? Because she said she was the boss. And this lady told me she was the manager. And I said, well, me and you need to walk over here and have a private conversation with all these people screaming at me right here. And so she followed me over there, and I told her. I said, I have medical problems. I cannot wear a mask. And according to even the governor's rules and regulations, there are the exemptions, and I am on that exemption list. And this woman, the manager of this Wendy's, looked at me and asked me for my papers, some kind of paperwork to prove I have a medical problem. Like I'm walking around with my medical records in my pocket. But they refused to serve me. They refused to serve me. They told me if I wanted the food, I had to go out, get my car, and drive through the drive-thru because I didn't have a mask on. Now, I'd done been in this store about 10, 15 minutes by this time without a mask. And they still refused to hand me my food that was already bought and paid for and let me leave. They made me go out, get my car, drive to the drive-thru to get my food. Now, I did it, but as soon as I got in the car, I got there. Oh, this is what I want to tell you. After she asked me for my medical papers to prove I have health problems, I asked her if that's the way she wanted to go with this. And she said, yes, that's the only way we're going with this. And I said, all right, well, then you need to get a district manager, a regional manager, or something on the phone because you're dead ass wrong and you need to be educated. And so she went back. She acted like she was going to go back and call a district manager or call somebody. But she ended up coming out front with a piece of paper on it, a piece of paper with some shit wrote on it. She said, here's the number to the corporate office, which was 1-800 number, of course. She had her name, just her first name with manager beside it, and then the assistant manager's name, one first name and with assistant manager behind it. Well, I also asked them for the store number so I can make sure I had the right store when I called in, because I told them as soon as I get my car, I will be calling corporate. And so this information she wrote on this paperwork, I went out, got in the car, and yeah, the number she gave me was correct. It was to the corporate office. But the names were wrong and the store number was wrong. She lied about that. The stupid thing is when I went through the drive-thru to get my food, they gave me a receipt with the store number on it, the address, the phone number, and all the information I needed to make my complaint. So I got on the phone. It took me about 45 minutes to get through to their corporate office, but I did get through. And we had a pretty interesting talk, me and whoever these corporate people were. But as I was telling them the story, they were flipping out. They couldn't even believe it. And the more I got into the story, and up to the point where I told them this woman asked me for medical papers to prove that I had a health problem, they all fell out of their chairs. They flipped out. Wendy's corporates, those people flipped out when I told them this woman asked me for my damn medical papers. So, I feel like Wendy's is going to do something about this now. I told that person I was talking to that I did not want to see anybody get fired over this. It's not their fault in the first place. It's all bullshit, and I'm not looking for that. One thing I am looking for is for everybody to be educated. Now, I asked them, I said, now, maybe between you and I, we can get this education done with Wendy's anyway. You know, they've got, I think they said, it's over 6,000 stores in this country. So that means if they don't get it straightened out, I'm not allowed in none of their stores. So, but they told me the manager and the assistant manager was wrong. They really don't even have the right to ask us why we're not wearing a mask. They can't even ask, to be honest with you. They've been told, as a matter of fact, by the governor of Ohio had told people, do not harass the people that cannot wear the mask. That's not your job. Do not harass them. Leave them alone. But some people think that because they're a manager or something, they can fuck with other people. Well, Wendy's corporate office now has about 4 different ways they can get a hold of me. And I asked them that, and told them that if somebody doesn't get a hold of me and let me know what's going on, and again, I repeated, I don't want to see anybody fired over this. That is not my goal. My goal is to get them educated, so this doesn't happen to anybody else. You people couldn't even imagine, or you probably can, I don't know. But when I walked into that store, I'm ready for it, people. I know this is going to happen. I'm ready for it. But let's say this was somebody who, you know, that ain't like me. That you know, they're not a fighter. They're not going to stand up. They're just going to let these people treat them however they want, because they'll go along to get along. It's not right, people. They have no reason to discriminate against anybody. And I don't care, COVID or no COVID. I'm daring any of them. I'm daring any company to not let me shop in their store because I'm not wearing a mask. I dare you. Because I'm telling you right now, you will have a lawsuit on you for discrimination of a disabled person. It ain't going to have shit to do with COVID-19. It's going to have to do with your discriminating against me because I have a disability. And if this is legal in any way, shape, or form, then it would be no different than somebody you know what? I'm going to start a business, and I don't want anybody that's in a wheelchair in my business. That's a risk. Hold on. That's a risk for me and my business to have people in here that are disabled. So I'm going to put steps around every door. There's going to be 10, 15 steps at every doorway. There's not going to be no ramps or nothing. We're not going to let these people in the building. It ain't legal for them to do that. It damn sure ain't legal for them to tell me I can't come in their building because I can't put a mask on my face. Believe me, if any company that thinks that a discrimination of a disabled person's lawsuit won't stick through this shit, please let me be the one to prove it to you. Because I'm going to tack on $1 million or more. I'm going to start at $1 million in my lawsuit. You can damn sure bet on that. So, please let me be the one you shit on. I beg you. Now, people, I don't know. If by the time I'm done with this, I should be able to prove to you people, even if you don't want to wear the mask, tell them you have breathing problems. You can't wear the mask. They do not have the right to ask you for any kind of proof. Any kind of proof. All you have to do is say, I have health problems, I cannot wear it. If they go against that and demand proof, they've got to have a court order, a subpoena from a judge that demands that there's some kind of reasons that judge needs your medical records, which I don't know if any of you know anything about the HIPAA laws, but if you don't, you need to look them up. Because even doctors can't give away your information unless you give them permission for it to do so. You know, they can't do it. So this is what I'm telling you people. You don't have to put up with this shit. And I'm going to prove it to you, because if they fuck with me and they make me go to court, I can prove that I'm disabled, that I can't wear that mask. I got doctors that'll back my shit. But the one thing I will prove to you is they won't be able to ask you. And then if they're not able to ask you for your medical records, and I can prove that to you, that they can't ask you, then maybe you guys will have the same balls to walk in there and tell these people, look, I have health problems, I can't wear the mask. They can't question it after that. They can't. It doesn't matter if everybody that walks in her store says that. They cannot question it. And that's exactly what Wendy's corporate told me today. They cannot ask for any paperwork. And that's what I told them. I said, the only paperwork I could think she was asking for was my medical records. And there's HIPAA laws against that. You can't demand that from nobody. So what else are they going to ask for? At this point, there's nothing they can ask for. Oh, but they're gonna try. They've already got this immunity passport and your vaccination papers and stuff like this that they're gonna push. But at this point, I'm going to do the pushing until it gets to until it gets worse. Then I'll stop pushing. I'll just start packing guns. Everywhere I go, I'll have guns on me. And if I got to worry about going to jail every time I leave my house because I refuse to put up with this shit, I'm not going to jail. So, you know what, guys? That's my rant for the day. I just want to let you guys know. And that was the Wendy's and Niles. And shoot, I should have got the number for you. I'll tell you what, I'll get the number and put the number in, download it either in a comment or something on after the video. But I'll get it in the video somehow if you guys want to call over there and tell them how much you like them. But may God bless us all, people. And may you all figure this out, that this is wrong, and we can't let it stand. I'm willing to stand with you if you guys are willing to stand with me. I'm going to fight them tooth and nail, and I'm going to fight them to the death if that's what it takes. So just let me know what you guys want to do. You guys have a good day out there. Be safe.